These are the type of men that you're gonna meet when you're 35 to 40. To know who is actually ready and who's just gonna waste your time is really important when you're reaching this age. Women often will meet more complex men at this age, unfortunately, because these are the men that are usually in their 40s, or divorced men, men with kids, men who say they want love but emotionally unavailable, or they could be lonely and not truly ready, or they could enjoy companionship and don't want commitment. And I think this is such an important topic because the biggest risk at this age is not missing out on love. It's wasting your emotional energy on men who aren't actually in a place to build. And a lot of these men are not necessarily bad. They might just be unresolved, inconsistent, emotionally unavailable, validation seeking, or comfort seeking, or simply they're just not ready to build something real. So the question that you want to ask yourself, not does he like me, but the real question is this man emotionally, mentally, and practically in a place to build with me? These are the signs that he is emotionally available. This type of guy is very rare to come across, but he's out there. And this is what women need to recognize as healthy, because you don't know what healthy looks like, then confusion will start looking normal. This type of man is consistent, not just intense. He doesn't come in strong for 3 days and then disappear for 5 days or a week. His energy will feel steady, like he's gonna text you regularly. He's gonna follow through plans, and you won't feel like you're constantly trying to guess whether he's still interested. He might not text you every day, all day, but his energy is steady. He doesn't disappear when things start getting closer, meaning when the connection gets deeper, he doesn't go silent or retreat. Like, you two can have a really good date, vulnerable conversations are shared, and instead of going cold after that, he actually continues showing up normally. He won't vanish the moment it feels emotionally real, because he wants to be involved in your life. This type of man can talk about feelings without shutting down. It means he's able to have emotional conversations without making you feel like you're too much or dramatic. If you tell him, I value clarity, I would like more clear communication, or I would like a little more communication, he won't roll his eyes or feel like you're pressuring him. He will reciprocate, like he will understand, and he'll stay in the conversation, and he'll see what he can do to make the relationship better. He is going to be clear about his intention, like he won't leave you in the guesswork. Obviously, he's not gonna say I'm dating with intention, but he's gonna say or have actions that match his words, like he wants to get to know you seriously. No vagueness, no ambiguity. This type of man is also able to hold attraction and responsibility. He doesn't just enjoy the chemistry, but he also understands the emotional impact that he's going to have on you. Like, he's warm, flirty, affectionate, but respect. He also will respect your time. He will respect you. He won't give you just the minimal breadcrumbs. He won't create false intimacy either. This type of man won't make you feel like asking for clarity is too much. A healthy man won't push you for wanting to understand where you guys stand, where you stand in his life. If you ask, what are you looking for? Or are we building something? Or what are we? He will answer like an actual adult. He won't say, why are you overthinking? Can't we just chill? You're making things pressured. And worse, he won't communicate. He'll just slowly fade away and leaving you wondering, did you ever do something wrong? This type of man can also handle emotional depth without running away from it. Like, he's not allergic to deep conversations. You talk about past experience, your values, your fears, your life goals, and he actually stays present. He doesn't immediately switch, or he won't disappear the next day, or when there comes times when you actually need him to have a little bit of emotion in there, he won't just stay distanced. Lastly, this man has processed enough his past that it doesn't bleed into the present. He might have been hurt because of divorce, betrayed, or disappointment, whatever the case is, but he has done enough of the inner work that you won't be the one paying for it. For example, he can talk about his ex without obvious bitterness or anger. He won't compare you to his past or his ex either. The second type of man, this type of man, he likes you, but he's not truly ready. Now, this type is the confusing type. This type confuses a lot of women because he's often pretty genuine. He's just actually not in the position to build. Like, he likes you, but in the end, it's like nothing is building. There's warmth, there is love, but there's no real forward movement. For example, he could tell you like, I really like spending time with you, or you're amazing. But after 2 or 3 months, nothing more is defined. Like, you're still in the same vague space. So these are the signs, okay? 1, he enjoys talking to you and being around you, but he's gonna be vague about direction. He likes the connection, but avoid structure. He might enjoy you, like your company, but if you start asking, what are we? What is it that you're looking for? He'll say something like, I'm just seeing where life takes me. I'm not trying to put pressure on anything, or I want to take things slow. And then there's no actual sign or meaningful progression. Secondly, he gives emotional warmth, but he also avoids relational clarity. What this means is he gives just enough emotional closeness to keep you invested, but not enough clarity to make you feel secure. He might call you sweet names. He'll share personal things. He'll talk about stuff with you for hours. Maybe he acts like you guys are in a relationship, but you don't even know what your role is in his life. Third, he seems sincere, but again, there's no real structure. He might not be manipulating you, but he's just not ready. He's recently divorced maybe, and he might say he likes you, but he'll say something along the line like he just want to take things slow. You're the woman that made him feel special, that he hasn't felt this way before. But again, it's very disorganized and no clean relationship role is defined here. The other sign is he might say, I'm figuring things out. And sometimes this could be real, but women honestly needs to stop treating it like a promise. He could be saying like, I'm still healing, I'm still figuring things out, I'm still trying to get my life together, I like you, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to jump into a relationship or marriage. He might be honest, but it still means he's not ready. His feeling could be warm, but his life is not making room for you. A man can feel something and is still not able to build. He's emotionally expressive when you're together, but you're not being integrated into his actual life. No real planning, no progression, no emotional space being made. You don't even know his family, his close circle of friends. The third type of man is, this type of man is dating for validation, not partnership. This type of man is often not looking for a relationship because his ego is his food. He likes the attention, and he wants the attention more than the actual responsibilities. He enjoys being admired, wanted, and desired. For example, he'll light up when you compliment him, reassure him, or show strong interest. But when the conversation turns towards what he actually building with you, his energy drops. The second sign for this type of man is he enjoys the emotional high of being wanted. The connection is feeding something into him. He could be texting a lot. He talks a lot in his text when he wants the attention. And he can get very engaging when he feels lonely. But he fades once when he feels the emotional line is filled up. Third, he wants you to make him feel good, but is not caring for your emotion. You're becoming pretty much an emotional resource, not a partner. He'll reach out when he's stressed, bored, when he wants comfort, but he's not going to consistently investing in the relationship or the connection outside of his emotional needs. You're going to feel like he shows up strongest when he needs reassurance. This energy is tied to his emotional emptiness, not his readiness. He will lose momentum when the focus shifts. He enjoys receiving more than giving. Like, he enjoys talking about himself and getting the validation from you rather than getting to know you deeper. He loves it when you ask about his life, when you support him, affirm him, but if you start asking serious questions, he's gonna give you like a low energy response. This type of man creates emotional activity without actual relational progress. Like, a lot is happening emotionally, but nothing is actually growing. There's constant texting, flirting, maybe vulnerability shared, some late night talks, and maybe some sexual tension. But 3 months later, you're still unclear on where you stand. The type of man is he wants companionship without the responsibility. This type of man wants the comfort of a woman without the duty of a life partner or a relationship. He enjoys having you around, but defining your role is like non-existent in his life. He actually likes your presence, but he doesn't want to put the responsibility into it. You two could spend regular time together, talk often, maybe even do couple-like things, but when you ask, what are we? He gets really uncomfortable. He wants comfort, consistency, and emotional support while giving very little structure back. Like, he likes what you bring to the table, but he doesn't want to fully step into an actual partner role. He wants your attention, your feminine warmth, your physical affection, your emotional support. But he resists accountability, planning, commitment, and label. This guy likes the benefit of partnership without the commitment of a partnership. What it means is that he wants an emotional and practical perks, but not mutual agreements. Like, you could be the one cooking, cleaning things for him, whatever, but he doesn't want to do anything back for you. He wants you to be loyal, available, nurturing, and understanding. But if you ask for exclusivity or clarity, he doesn't want to give you a clear, darn answer. And when you need him to help on certain practical things, he's going to make tons of excuses, or he's just going to be distancing. This type of guy also avoid future conversation. You two don't talk about future plans. Then this type of man, he just wants to keep you in the presence and access without obligation. Because every time the conversation starts moving forward, where is this going? He kind of redirects it, putting some vagueness, or saying like, we gotta build first before we step into a relationship. This type of guy will want your softness, but he just doesn't want the responsibility that comes with the access to it. Like, he wants to receive you without fully honoring you. He wants that emotional intimacy, even sex, companionship, but there's no clarity in a real relationship. And why many men in this age range say they want love, but still avoid death? Because they're lonely. They're not healed from the past. They're all pretty much broken souls. They miss having the connections that they probably used to have, but they don't actually done the work to sustain it. They don't know how to keep it. For example, a divorced man can say, I want something real, but he could be still bitter, still emotionally guarded, and still reacting to his past more than relating to the present. Men at this age range in their 40s, they want connection, but they don't want the accountability or the responsibilities. They like the intimacy. They don't want any further than that. They want closeness, affection, emotional support. But once the conversation includes commitment, effort, and consistency, they start backing away. They start distancing. These type of men in this age range, they could be tired of being alone, but they're still emotionally guarded. So many of them are pretty much emotionally guarded. They want the feeling of love, but not the vulnerability that love requires. They want a partner, but every time the other person gets closer, they'll become more distant. They'll freak out and more hesitant and more emotionally shut down. They want the presence of a woman in their life, but at the same time, they're still pretty much protecting their unresolved wounds. They may enjoy your energy, women's energy, but they're still operating from fears. They like spending time with you and still keep one foot in, one foot out. They talk about trust issues, past betrayal maybe, or not wanting to get hurt again, but they haven't actually done the work to heal, to be open. They're afraid. They're frightened of commitment. I'm not saying all, but most men in their 40s are like that. They want partnership benefits without putting the work, the emotional labor of the partnership. They want rewards, not the work. They want someone to talk to sleep with, to travel with, and to emotionally lean on. But they don't want to do the uncomfortable, to build trust, to compromise each other. And they start backing away when your conversation starts demanding, or not demanding, but like when you start asking for clarity in the relationship. They want love, trust me, but most of them can't hold the depth. To them, love is just in theory, but they're not capable to practice it. They could say, I want something meaningful, but then again, they'll avoid deep conversation, they'll avoid responsibility, avoid clarity, and they don't want to be overwhelmed. Why women need to stop romanticizing after 35. This is so important. Stop romanticizing potential, future talk. He's charming, intelligent, attractive, and maybe could be a great partner someday. But you know what? What about today? In reality, is he consistent? Is he vague? So stop romanticizing charm. Because you might run into a guy who knows how to talk. He'll make you feel beautiful, seen, and desired, but yet his actions don't match your energy. A man can be charming and still wasting your time. Stop romanticizing emotional intensity. You two feel crazy chemistry, like love at first sight, long conversations, strong emotional pull, but that doesn't mean he's healthy and capable of being a partner, or even see you outside of the bedroom. Stop romanticizing mixed signals. He goes hot and cold, and then you tell yourself, maybe he's scared, maybe he has feeling for me, but he doesn't know how to approach. Maybe he's overwhelmed. No, these are men that are in their 40s. These are mixed signals. They're not depth. They're simply confusions and unavailabilities. We need to stop romanticizing vulnerability without accountability. So you two can have a conversations where he shares his pain, his trauma, his past, his wounds, his ex, and then you feel close to him because of that. But he's actually not taking any responsibility for healing. So guess what? that's going to get passed on to you if he's never actually done the correct healing work. We need to stop romanticizing loneliness as readiness too. Like, a man can be very lonely after divorce, after separation, maybe in transition, but that loneliness doesn't make him capable for an actual connection that leads to building a relationship. We also need to stop romanticizing "he likes me" as a proof of real potential. He could like you. He could enjoys you. He could feel something. But look at his action. Is there capacity? Is there clarity? Is there readiness to build? That's the real question. What are his actions? Lastly, questions we women should ask ourselves early. Is this guy creating clarity or just chemistry? Do I actually know him? Do I actually know what he wants? Or do I just feel a strong pull towards him? Is he building something with me? Or is he just enjoying access of me? Whether it's emotionally or physically. Is this guy making intentional effort to move forward? Or is he simply just enjoying my presence, my softness, my femininity? Does he want partnership or just comfort? Is he showing signs that he actually wants mutual commitment? Does he actually want someone that makes him feel like a true partner? Or is he just looking for someone to fill in that lonely space? Is he emotionally available or just emotionally expressive? Can he stay in the present consistently? Can he be present consistently even when you two are apart? This is important. Because if he's not staying in connection with you when you two are not together, chances are he is not ready. He might have another life. Am I seeing actual readiness, or am I just projecting hope onto a potential because his future talk sounds so good? That's dangerous. Am I looking at him for who he is right now? What he has done so far in the last 3 days, 5 days, 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 1 month? He can be kind, attractive. He could be an honest individual, even genuine. He could be liking you, but he is not available emotionally. He could be unresolved. He could be not ready for you to be in his life. And as women, between the age of 35 to 40, biggest risk is not that you will miss your chance of love. But the biggest risk is that you will spend your emotional energy trying to interpret, to heal, to fix, to wait, or to be enough for a man who simply doesn't have a place to build. This man might not be even ready to have you in his life.